So there's this incredible hidden gem in Florida that's actually a natural swimming hole in the woods. Welcome to Ginny Springs, and I'm going to show you why this should be on your Florida bucket list. Jinny Springs is located about 15 minutes away from the town of High Springs. And if you're unfamiliar with High Springs, it is near Gainesville in North Florida. Now, this town is super cute and historical and makes the perfect weekend getaway for your trip to the Springs. Let's head from High Springs and begin our day exploring Jinny Springs. As soon as we arrive, there is a check-in building where you will go inside and sign waivers. There are also snacks and drinks that you can buy here, as well as renting tubes, paddle boards, and anything else you may need for your visit. Once you enter the park, you will see that the property runs along the Santa Fe River. Now, the color of the water in the Santa Fe River is a brown and murky color, but not to worry. All of the springs at Jinny Springs are crystal clear and are made up of some of the clearest water in the world with just incredible visibility. Now, the cool part about Jinny Springs that sets it apart from other springs in Florida that you may visit is that there are actually 5 different spring areas and a total of 7 springs right here in the same park. So you get really 7 springs for the price of 1, which I find absolutely incredible, and I will be taking you through them all right now. The first of the 5 spring areas is the Devil's Cave system. Now, this is a super popular place for divers and is home to 3 springs. We have Devil's Ear, Devil's Eye, and Little Devil. This area of the park is my favorite spot. This is why I drive 3 hours away from where I live to come. So totally check out the Devil's system and put this on the top of your list. Now, the Devil's Spring system, which consists of Little Devil, Devil's Ear, and Devil's Eye, produces over 80 million gallons of fresh water every single day. How incredible is that? Now, the water here at Jinny Springs, in all of the springs, is 72 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. So it doesn't matter what time of year you're visiting, summer or winter, the water temperature will always stay the same. Jinny Springs is an incredibly popular dive site, so if you are a diver, this is the place for you. As a diver myself, my favorite section is the Devil's Spring system. Now, the only divers that are allowed to bring lights in the Jinny Springs property are certified cave and cavern divers. Other people are welcome to dive here, but they cannot go in the cave and cavern system and they cannot have lights. So if you're a diver, put this place on your list. It's absolutely incredible, especially for cave divers. Now, I will tell you that Jinny Springs is one of the more expensive springs in Florida, and by expensive, I mean between $15 to $20 per person instead of about $3 to $6 per car like state or national forest run springs, but this place is totally worth it. One of my favorite springs of all time, and you get a lot of bang for your buck when you're visiting here. Next up, we have Jinny Springs. Yes, that is both the name of the park and the individual spring. Now, this is the flagship spring for the entire park and by far the most popular of the 5 different areas that you can swim in and access. The spring boil here produces over 20 million gallons of crystal clear fresh water every day, and it has a maximum depth of 20 feet. This is a very popular spring for families, and just everyone who visits here loves it, and it is quite a large spring basin, so good for a crowded and hot day. Now, while you're here, you can rent everything from tubes to kayaks, paddle boards, and canoes, and you can do this at the main shop at the entrance of the park where you paid. This is a fantastic way to get above the water and see all that Jinny Springs has to offer. And of course, tubing, like that's one of the main reasons why you come here. Definitely recommend. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends for more content. We have arrived at the beautiful Dogwood Springs. Now, if you are either kayaking or tubing down the Santa Fe River, you will pass all of these springs. Definitely make sure to go into Dogwood. It is a longer spring run and the most crystal clear out of all 5 springs here from my experience, just because it's less busy and there are no divers in this one. So it's a really good place to either kayak in and look down at the spring boil or swim around. During my visit, I spent practically the entire day in the water. I am talking many hours, of course, getting out to break for something to eat at one of the picnic tables, but this place is truly incredible. Remember that brown water that I told you about before in the Santa Fe? Well, what you're looking at here is the brown water of the Santa Fe mixing with the clear blue water of Dogwood Springs. This is where Dogwood Springs empties into the Santa Fe, and it has this creepy and cool effect. As I mentioned earlier, the water temperature is 72 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, and for my visit today, the air temperature was actually colder than the water temperature, which made the water feel warm, so it was a really unique experience and made swimming even more enjoyable than getting out. We are at Twin Springs, and this is actually the exit point if you are going to be doing the tube run at Ginnie Springs. So once you exit here, you're going to pick up your tube and you're going to carry it all the way up the tube trail to the beginning, and if you want to ride the tube run again, you can. Now, as you can see, this water of Deer and Twin Springs is brown, and it is not normally like this. Depends on when you visit, and here's why. The reason that Deer Springs and Twin Springs happen to be brown right now is because they have a shorter spring run. Now, for example, Dogwood spring run is extremely long, but these have a very short spring run, and that allows the brown water to seep in. Now, the brown water and the Santa Fe being as high as it is right now is actually because Georgia, the state of Georgia, is getting rain. And even if Georgia got a rain a week ago, the river, the Santa Fe right here, could rise and cause these springs to be brown even a week later. Some of the springs, like the Devil's Spring system and Jinny Springs, have a tarp that Jinny Springs has put down, and this tarp is meant to keep out the brown Santa Fe water from seeping into the clear springs so that we can all enjoy. There is a really good chance that when you visit, this beautiful spring will be clear and you can enjoy it as a last stop on your tube run. Now, Jinny Springs is also a campground and a popular picnic area. As you can see, there is this absolutely stunning view from this campsite, and they also do have water hookups and a variety of other options. So definitely make sure to check it out on their website. And when you are camping here, you do get 24-hour access to the facilities, which is not something that day use visitors like me will be receiving. Now, it's important to note that in the high season or on holidays, the camping does get extremely busy. So if this is something that you want to secure, make sure to reserve online in advance if this is on your list to camp next to these beautiful blue waters. Jinny Springs is an absolutely incredible park filled with stunning natural beauty. Now, I do want to put a little disclaimer that just because it was not busy for my visit does not mean that it will look like this if you are going during Memorial Day weekend or a weekend in the summer. It often does get busier. If you want to know how busy it is, just make sure to call in advance and ask. No matter what time of year you visit, it is totally worth it to make the trip out to Jinny Springs in Florida, some of the clearest water in the world, and a total hidden gem that needs to be on your list. Before you go, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you next time.